Slayer of Games.
What's going on, guys? This is Slayer of Games, and I'm going to give you my review for Dead Island 2. But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please enjoy the show, guys. We have waited 12 years. 12 years for the next Dead Island 2. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm very much so infatuated with it, and I can definitely say that it's better than Dead Island 1. The very first one. Even though the very first one, I can definitely say had a better story. But when it comes to combat, when it comes to the blood and gore, when it comes to the actual fun of the game, yes, this game definitely does beat it. And I'm gonna tell you reasons why. So starting out, we are actually in the beautiful Los Angeles, and with that being said, this is actually called a place called Hella, but we are definitely in Los Angeles and not on the island anymore. With us not being on the island, it actually brings us more variety, I feel like, and the map is actually technically a little bit bigger than what I actually thought it was going to be. So you literally have Beverly Hills, you have mostly just every spot in Los Angeles that you can actually think about, they actually put into the game. As you can see, I'm also in Venice Beach right now, which is also close to the pier, and I'm just so happy that they actually added all this stuff into the game. So where this game is going to shine is going to be the combat. There's definitely a huge characterization with different people combat, and also you have different cards and loadouts that will actually help you out along the way. Certain cards and loadouts will actually be like, okay, if you get a melee kill, you can build up your overdrive. Most likely your overdrive is going to be the rage, if you remember from the first one. So once you get your rage and once you get your overdrive, you can do like an enormous amount of things with it. It's not only just you turn into a zombie or you just going crazy, just like in Dying Light, but in this one you can actually like do multiple things for sure. But one thing about Dead Island 2 that I can definitely say is that I love the different varieties of zombies that they do have, and you can actually kill every single one of them in different ways that you want to. There's guns, there's different mods you can use for your weapons. You can use electricity, you can use fire, you can use water to your advantage as well. Surprisingly, this game doesn't lack in combat. I've been hearing a lot of people bring up like this is supposedly a first-person shooter, but it's not a FPS. If anything, this is just a survival horror game. And with that being said, you survive with everything or with anything that you can use. Of course, just like in the old one, you also bring up, you can also use like different weapons. But not only that, but if you overuse a weapon, the weapon truly does like leave your arsenal. So you have to go and make that weapon again. But luckily enough, there's a lot of places around the world, around Los Angeles, that you can actually go and savage up some more weapons for you to build that weapon up again. Another thing is when it comes to weaponry, is that there are, like I said, there are mods, but there are also like different things like when you go to the weapon menu, you can press square in order for you to match level. And what match level does is it match your weapon's level with your level and the level it's supposed to be. So let's say you have a weapon that you started off with for level 1, but you're level 20 now. That level, you can actually spend money to actually make it even more powerful and more stronger than you want it to be, if you truly care for that weapon. Another thing is, I would definitely say that not only is the combat great, but the characterization is also good as well. Different characters have different lines and different ways they actually like interact with different things and different people as well. Let me know if you actually want an in-depth video on the different archetypes and everything you can do with like each weapon, and also the different stuff you can actually do when it comes to your rage as well. I know there's screaming, There's like the bashing and bruising of everything, and you also have the vomit, and you also have the screaming with the voltage of like most likely and everything. So it's like everything is mostly in depth with this game, and I really love the content, and I love how it's just so diverse, and it's very. I can definitely say it's very much so different than the first one, and while it's different, it's also bringing like back a huge new like itch that you haven't had in a long period of time. Another area where this game definitely shines, I would have to say, is its multiplayer. I started off playing this game with one of my dearest friends, and me and him was actually just going through it, and we were just playing together. Um, it was. I actually have the live stream on Twitch, but yeah, and I'm going to continue to stream this game, by the way, to make sure I can actually platinum this game. But we had no problem loading into matchmaking. The invite session was pretty difficult at first because we didn't know what we was doing. But once we got the hang of it, it was like, okay, this is pretty easy. It's definitely more easier than I can say than the first one. And not only that, I mean, I know they came out with a tweet saying that if you join someone and you're ahead of the mission or whatever, you know, they most likely won't let you join or whatever. I find that to be cap. I was level 30, which is the max level in the game, and he was like level 21, and I was still able to join him, but we were doing his missions. I don't know if he'll be able to join me, but either way it go, I was able to join him. We were doing his missions, and we actually had fun together. Some of the blueprints he got, I was able to get, and some of the blueprints I got, he was able to get. And throughout this entire session that we were actually playing, we actually put in the time to say, you know what, let's discover, let's explore, and instead of just going straight to the mission, let's make sure that we can continue to like build our weapons. As you clearly see me right now, I'm in a weapon craft right now, crafting around some weapons. And if you look at the lower of your screen, you can actually see sometimes where I hover over a weapon and it says square to like level up my weapon to the max level that I was already at. That's what I meant when I said that you can match level your weapon to your level that you already are. But yeah, so the craft menu is pretty neat. I'm not even gonna lie. But let's get into some things I did not like about the game. Started with the first problem that I ran into. I noticed off the gate, it was some times where I was playing the game and the game would crash, or I wasn't able to move in a certain ways, or I just get stuck out of nowhere. And I don't know if that's like a problem they had with the game first coming out and you know everything, because I did play it when it first released, but I don't know if they fixed it, and I hope they did. But yeah, that was one of the biggest problems I can truly say that I really had with this game. And it was at times where I would do a mission and the thing that would actually need to be located, like I was on the last mission, and the thing that needed to be located for the mission wasn't there. And I was like wondering like what actually happened or where was it. And I found myself really like stumbled, and I was just there for like 20 minutes trying to figure out exactly what was going on. Was I missing anything? Did I miss a clue? Did I miss a blueprint? Did I miss anything that needed to be found? And yet it just found out that the game was just laggy. The game was just messed up, and I just had to close app. But soon enough, as I closed app, the item spawned back. But it's still an inconvenience to the game. Next problem that I really had with this game would have to be the fact that the story was boring. I felt as if the side characters played a huge important part to the storytelling, more than it did when it came down to the story in itself. Side characters in this game were like the bread and like everything that you need for like a huge recipe, like the main base of it, because they brought life into the scenery. They brought life into where we are. They brought life into the fact that we're in apocalypse. And even then, we had content creators there. We had movie stars that were there. We had Sam B that came out of nowhere. Like, it's crazy that we like interacted with these people, but they were not really in main missions most of the time. The people that you meet in the main missions are the same people that you're going to either meet in the beginning or the people that you're going to meet at the end. I mean, no, in the middle or the end, that really don't have that much character into them like the side characters do. To pick it back off the stories, I really feel like I should bring up the character situation. When it came down to the characters, Jesus, most main story characters did not have as much characterization or personality than the side characters. The side characters really, I really felt like brought the reason to do side missions or even do the missing missions that you would actually see once you continue to go down the line. These missions brought so much joy to me than just playing the main mission, which is why me and as you can see, my friend was just either just exploring or doing side quests most of the time when we was playing together. The main mission was okay to say the least. But at the same time, I know it could have definitely been more to come. I really wish it could have actually had more information, more pizzazz to it. And there was also points where in the story I was just like, oh my god, I cannot believe this is happening. But most of the time it was just I'm going through it and I'm just going through it and I'm just going through it. Another major problem with this game will have to be the fact that they showed the final boss before the final boss was even there. Not saying it was a person, but all I'm saying is if there's a different variant of a zombie that we're going to go against in the end of the game that we barely see, why would you put that or have him come towards the middle endish of the game? I want to see him at the end, full-fledged. I do not want to see him at the same time being at the end. Like, I already know how to defeat him now because I already went against like 3 of them before he even came about. So now it's just like, okay, yes, I understand that it played a part into the story, but at the same time, y'all could have waited. I really feel like they could have waited until at the end of the game to really show that variant of that zombie. Honestly, that would have to be my last like official critic. The fact that the game story was not as appealing as it should have been. The characters in the story wasn't appealing as it should have been. And lastly, the fact that we had to fight the same boss that we already fought. Technically 3 times before fighting the main boss, if that makes sense. And here are my final thoughts. While Dead Island definitely lacks in the story region of everything, and also the characters' reasons inside the story, it is a very fun game to play. Even if it's by yourself, even if it's with friends. I find myself continuing to play this game mainly because I love zombie games. I love how the first one played in Dead Island 1, and this one is just bringing a whole new light to it when it comes to the brutality, the gore, and also the weaponry that we are able to use. I just love being able to survive, and I just love being able to just go out and give it my all when it comes to slaying these zombies. Now, with that being said, this game is not a first-person shooter, so do not sit here and criticize the game because of how the guns may be. Yes, there is a blueprint inside the game. I said this again. There is a blueprint inside the game that will give certain weapons an increase in accuracy. Please look for that blueprint, and please look for that if you really do care enough about the accuracy of this game when it comes to guns. But other than that, this is a melee beat 'em up zombie game, and there is nothing wrong with that at all. If you don't like it, then you don't like it. But if you love it, then I say definitely pick this game up now. But if you don't like it and you want to give it a try, wait till it's on sale. I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of those games that's going to either be on sale this summer or it's going to be on sale later on throughout the year. It is not a game of the year contender. I will honestly say that. And with that being said, I give this game a score of 7 into 7.5 out of 10. While this game is not one of the best or one of the greatest games of all time, I would definitely sit here and say that this game is actually there to keep you entertained at the moment, especially around now, since not many games are coming out until, next month of June. And if you just need something to play for right now until next month, then I say definitely give it a chance. Or if you're not really into fighter games, because most of the fighter games are coming out this year, so if you're not really into those, then I say yes, definitely give this game a chance. But this game is not a bad game. I don't like the rep that it's getting from it, but I would definitely say that it does have some things that need to be critiqued on, that needs to be fixed on, and I really do hope the the team comes down and like really do help it out. I don't think it's deep silver anymore. If it is, then I apologize, but I do know that this game definitely does need some help when it comes down to the story. And if it comes out with DLC, then I would love to see some of the main characters that are still alive and that are still with us to actually have more of a way to not only get off California. I was going to say island, but California is technically island. But anyway, to get off California and to also just have a different way of surviving overall. And with that being said, yes, this game is definitely going to get a 7.0 to a 7.5. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what's your favorite part. If not, comment down below what's your favorite part about the game if you have played it. And if you haven't played it, tell me the reason why you're not going to play it, or tell me the reason why you haven't picked it up yet. This has been Slayer of Games. Peace.